Hey YouTube, this is Licious Kid from Climax Combo, back with another Leaks of the Week. This week we are just continuing off with Project Diva F second. Comes out on July 25th, so pretty soon. So yeah, there's not much else to say, so I guess I'll get right to it. So Monday we have this Luca 105k. This is a double R, but don't forget Diva 2 has double R pluses, so I guess there will be better cards in this. But anyways, what this Luca does is she combos with this +2 soul Luca Night Fever. When she attacks with the +2 soul climax, you pay 1. If you do, you salvage 2 Luca characters, specifically Luca characters from your waiting room, add them to your hand, and then you discard a card. It's okay just because it filters your hand, it breaks even, and you can pay out your climaxes by paying the 1, and this is a costless 1/0 attacker. However, the only real downside to this, or I guess a couple downsides, is that you can only grab Luca characters, and as of right now in like the competitive builds, there's not much good Luca cards. Like I guess some people run the level 3 Luca, the 1/1 Luca with the Clock Encore from the first set, and I guess you can grab this. Not much other good Lucas really come out at the top of my head. So as of right now, I don't think this card is very good, just because it's pretty restricted on what you can grab. Yeah, this card works well in a fan deck, but I'm not here to talk about fan decks since, in a fan deck anything works. But yeah, as of right now, I don't really like this card just because you have to specifically grab Lucas. And, the best builds usually revolve around Miku. So as of right now, this card is not that great. Kind of sucks it's a double R, just because as of right now it's pretty lackluster. But who knows, maybe Luca will get a lot of good cards in this set. Probably one of the double R pluses will be another level 3 Luca. If that one's really good, then hey, who knows. But as of right now, it's not too good. Next up we have this Mako. It's 2/1, 7k, uncommon. She combos with the gate. Her first effect is when she specifically triggers a climax. During the trigger check, you may pay 1. If you do, choose one of your characters. It gets +2k until the end of your opponent's next turn. Not that great, just because Kanon from Guilty Crown, she affects. It's when that card is specifically when any of your characters trigger a climax. However, this Mako is restricted in the fact that she specifically has to trigger a climax, which is not that good, and she also costs 1 herself, and she's really weak power. So honestly, her first effect is it's okay, I guess. It's nice when you get it off, but you shouldn't be expecting to get this first effect off very often. If you guys don't know how this first effect works, pretty much it allows you to pay out the climax instantly, because when she attacks, let's say you trigger a gate, you put the gate to the stock, and then you resolve the gate, so you get a character back. Then her effect activates. Then you can pay 1, which is paying out the gate instantly, and then you get the +2k until the end of your opponent's next turn. Pretty good. Unfortunately, it's only herself, so yeah, bummer. So it's honestly not that good compared to Kanon. But she does have to combo the gate. When you play the gate, and this is in the front stage, you may pay 1, discard a card. If you do, choose one of your opponent's level 2 or lower front stage characters and send it to the waiting room, and this gets +1k until the end of the turn. So what this will be is 7, 8, 9k before assist. Honestly, pretty weak. And this card is restricted only to the front stage. You can't hit back rows like you can with or you can't hit back rows. So it's honestly not that good. Yeah, it combos with the gate, but if you want to run a gate combo, you could just run the Luca gate combo in the first set. Oh, my bad. This can also grab that level 2 Luca from the first set. Some people run that. So yeah, my bad. I totally forgot about that card. But as of right now, I honestly think that Luca, the level 2 Luca, in my opinion, is better. Kind of surprised that Mako got the gate instead of Luca. Oh well, Mako needs more love, I guess. But yeah, as honestly, this combo is pretty lackluster, pretty mediocre. But at least they got another gate, so you can potentially run 8 gates in your Project Diva builds now, which probably won't happen, but it's you can do it. Next up, we have these Tuesday's leaks. 1/0 Miku. She's an R and she's 5k. Of course, like Diva should do, she kind of synergizes with all 3 of these cards, so I guess I'll go over all of them first. When she attacks with stock 1 soul, choose one of your Hatsune Miku, Yuda, Fuwa, Pastel, and it gains the following effect until the end of the turn. When this card reverses its opponent in battle, search your deck for 2 music characters, add them to your hand, and then discard a card, then shuffle your deck. The card she works with is this one. when she attacks with the Climax Glory, or when she attacks with the stock 1 soul, and you control another, if you control this card, you may pay 1. If you do, this card gets plus 4k until the end of the turn. Okay. Yeah, then the stock 1 soul. I'm just it just kind of blinked out there for a second. Anyways, so pretty much these cards work together. Honestly, it's whatever, just because kind of kills it in the fact that this is a 1165. If this was like a 105k, then I think it might be a little better. But anyways, so the idea is you have both of these two in the front row. You play the stock 1 soul, you get a free stock. You attack with this first. You attack with it, and then you target this, and then this card gains this effect where when it kills something, you can search 2, then discard a card. So you attack with this. This doesn't really do anything on its own, but then this now becomes a 1/1, 10/5, and when she kills something, you get to search 2 characters, but then you do discard a card. So in the end, it pretty much breaks even because the 1 stock you pay for this attack, for this combo, is the 1 stock you get from the climax. And since you search 2, but you discard a card, and since this is a minus in hand, you do break even. However, you are left with this 1/1, 10/5 beater until the end of your opponent's turn, which is cool, I guess. But the next turn, it will just be a 1/165. So yeah, honestly, I think this combo is it's not that great, just because this costs 1 in itself. This is just like lackluster on its own. You have to have the 2 out at the same time for it to do anything. And stock 1 soul, it's okay, but we have time. But Time Machine Miku's a thing, and that card's just, it's what really makes Diva. It's what gives Diva a fighting chance right now. Because without that card, the deck would probably be really bad. But so you gotta run Time Machine Miku, to be honest. So as of right now, I don't really like these. I don't really like this combo at all. It's because it's too restricted. All you break even, and you get a 1/1 10/5. Honestly, searching the 2 and then discarding card is pretty good, just because you thin out your deck and you get to prepare yourself for the later levels, but it's just, too much. And lastly, we have this one, Rin. She's an R, she's 2/5. She's, during your turn, all your Misu characters have plus 1k. Keep in mind this only during your turn, that's why it's so strong. And her other effect is when she's played from hand to stage, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a music character, add it to your hand, discard a card. Otherwise, return it to its original position. That card, this second effect is pretty good. It's pretty nice little hand fix. It lets you discard climaxes, assuming that you hit a music character, and it's just nice to filter your hand. This is plus 1k during your turn is okay. It would be kind of cool with Time Machine Miku, since Time Machine Miku only exists on your turn. So I guess that would be pretty cool. But honestly, it's okay. It's not that great. I don't really see this card being used, but it's honestly not that bad of a card. Next up, we have more Mako cards. 1/7k. This card's pretty good. It's an R. When she's played for hand to stage, choose one of your music characters and put it to rest. And she has Clock Encore. So yeah, she has a quote-unquote demerit. The demerit is really easy to go around. Like I said, Diva's not really relying on the back row for resting. And she has Clock Encore. So 1/7k Clock Encore essentially is really solid. So yeah, might open up some more options for Diva instead of just Time Machine Miku. So yeah, not a bad card at all. It's only an R2. Yeah, it's R worthy. So yeah, good card. Next up, 2/2 Kaito. R 8k. For each of your other music characters you control, that gets plus 500. So if you have a full field, he'll be a 2/2 10k, and it's all right. Honestly, with the new Miku, the Miku level 3 that we saw last week, I think that one will be that will be the game plan for level 2 decks, for Diva decks. But I guess it's okay for Kaito fan decks, since a lot of people seem to be interested in those. But that's fan deck. Anyways, we have this another event, 2/1 blue event, uncommon. What the? Number 111. How big is this set? Wow, I didn't even know. Anyways, search your deck for 1 Kaito and 1 Mako. Add them to your hand, discard a card, send this card to memory. Pretty good for Mako Kaito decks, just because you thin out your deck, This card goes to memory, and you get to fix your hand, but, only for Mako and Kaito fan decks. Next up, we have this other pretty cool Mako. It's a 103k, it's an R. It's a level 1 Suicider, which is really cool. And she has another interesting effect. When your opponent plays a Climax, you may place this card into stock. Pretty interesting, I guess, if your opponent is not aware, or I guess in just some situations, like let's say your opponent has their own Tyrant Factory Miku, and all you have are these Makos in the front row. They play the gold bars, you send these into your stock, and then they have nothing to reverse now. So I guess this card gives you extra stock when the time calls for it. It can get around like climax dependent game enders like Akagi from Kontai, Tyrant Factory Miku herself. What else is there? But yeah, just a couple of those cards at the top of my head. Cards that are dependent on climaxes and have to reverse characters for game ending effects is yeah, so this is a really interesting card. Level 1 Suicider in itself is already worthy of playing. It having this secondary effect is very interesting, and yeah, overall this Mako is really good. 103k, and it's only an R, so yeah, excellent card. Next up, we have more Miku cards. 106k common. Wow, I'm going to buy these pretty fast. Anyways, 106k common. It being an oversized level 1, it needs to have a demerit. When you have 2 or fewer music characters, you cannot play this from hand. Not that bad of a downside. The only real problem is let's say this is like, if you're running like 4 of these, and you have 2 in the back row, and you don't have anything else to play, you're completely screwed that turn, because you can't even play this card. If you guys know what I mean. Like, if your hand is clogged up with these, you have, let's say, only 1 assist, or if you even have 2 assists, and you can't play anything else, then you can't play any of these Mikus. So its downside, it can be pretty painful at times. Probably won't happen to you often, but it can happen, and in that reason, I don't think this card is really good. Cat Miku's okay, just because it's a 106k in the center slot. That one's already alright, but this Miku, not that bad of a card. The demerit's not too hard to go around, but but it can happen to you if you run too many of these. So maybe just run 2 or 3 of these, or maybe just stick to Cat Miku. Who knows? This is a really interesting event next. 1-0 uncommon. When you have 22 or fewer cards in your deck, place all of them but the bottommost card of your deck into the waiting room. So you'll be essentially left with 1 card left in deck. And it's a level 1 event, and the only downside is that the only restriction to this is that you need to have 22 or fewer cards left in your deck. So yeah, I think this card is really cool. I think it's really interesting. 1, because it's a level 1 event, it makes it easy for you to refresh at like high clock. Like if you're at 1.5 or 1.6, you can play this event, and then you'll essentially be guaranteed a really good refresh because you'll have a lot of cards in clock, meaning that you have, you could hit maximum compression, because a lot of times most decks end up refreshing at like 2-1, 2-2, and honestly they end up having less compressed just because they have less cards in clock. However, this card pretty much guarantees you being left with letting you refresh at 1.5, 1.6, 1.4, etc., etc., leaving you with pretty decent compress. I think that's like the main. I could see that being like the best use of this card. Another good use of this card is, of course, if you like just hit too many climaxes early, you can just use this as like a really efficient brainstorm. Just like, oh, I'm out 8 climaxes already at level 1, boom. Now you're pretty much going to refresh with all 8 of them again, which is pretty cool. If Diva gets a free refresh card, like if they have a 5 or less card left in deck refresher, then of course this would pretty much guarantee it. There's a lot of use for this card. I think it's really interesting. The only downside, I guess the real downside to this card is that it does minus you in hand size because you don't get anything out of it, and the fact that it's not good in every situation, but nonetheless, I really do think this is an interesting event. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what people do with this event. Will people even run this event? I don't think they will, but I do think this card is cool. I think it's really interesting. So yeah, I like this event. Too bad I don't play Diva, even though I really like Miku. Just a deck I never really got around to. I don't know why. But anyways, let's go on. 2-1-8KR, this is Miku. When she's played from hand to stage, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a music character, place it into stock. Otherwise, place that card into clock. I guess early level 2 it's not too bad just because, clocking yourself at like 2-1 or if you're at 2-0 isn't that bad. But, as the game goes on, if you're at level 3, I probably wouldn't even play this card just because it's too scary. The potential of you clocking yourself 1 damage is just, it hurts too much, I don't think it's worth it. And it's only a wimpy 8k. So, unfortunately, I don't think this card is really good. It's really cute. I believe this is the Happiness of or the Committee of Happiness and Peace Miku, and I thought that was gonna be the level 3 just because you guys know the song. It's like, yeah, if you guys know the song, I thought this was gonna be the level 3 for Project Diva, or I thought this would be the other level 3 Miku. However, this is not, so I don't know what would be the other level 3 Miku. Maybe World is Mine Miku, who knows? But just surprised that this isn't the level 3. Oh well, just me ranting. Anyways, 2295, Ruka, this is an uncommon, it has 2 soul. When she's played from hand to stage, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a climax, place this card into rest. That's its demerit because it's an oversized 2-2. Honestly, if you're gonna run a 2-2, if you're gonna pay 2 stock for a level 2 game, you might as well be running the new Miku that we saw last week. So yeah, honestly, I don't think this card's gonna be ran. And Friday's League, some pretty interesting cards. So first up is this Len, 3-2 10k double R, 2 soul. When he's played from hand to stage, he heals. Pretty interesting. I didn't think Len would heal. Anyways, and his other effect, when any of your characters triggers a climax, you can discard 1 card from your hand. If you do, choose one of your characters, gets plus 2k and 1 soul until the end of the turn. Pretty interesting just because the fact that it heals, so now people who want to run like Rin Len decks, I see a lot of people asking like competitive, viable yellow build, mono yellow build, please, and people are like, that's impossible just because the level 3s suck and everything about it sucks. But anyways, now they actually have a healer, which is cool, right? I don't think they had a healer before. I'm almost positive, but it's not like I've ever played against any mono yellow builds. Pretty sure it's decent heal. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So pretty much now they actually have a healer, which is really cool. This second effect is actually pretty interesting. I think this last effect is pretty good just because of the fact that you can distribute soul, letting you go for precise damage. Yeah, it does hurt your hand size by 1, but discarding a card, it's not too bad if it's gonna help you win the game. The 2k power is honestly whatever. I just kind of like it for the 1 soul. Helps you try to go for precise damage at the end of the game. So overall, I think this line is pretty cool. It's already playable just because of the fact that it heals, but since it also has another effect, makes it, it's a nice secondary effect. Not the best, but hey, it's there, and I'm sure it can help you win a couple games every now and then. Next up, we have this 3-2 Rin. This is the double R plus, of course. 2 soul. If you have 3 or more music characters, she has plus 1k, so she'll be 11k base. This can only be activated once per turn. During the turn that this card was played from hand to stage, when the damage of this card is cancelled, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent. So pretty much flare trigger, pretty cool. And lastly, it combos with the wind trigger. When she attacks with the wind trigger, you may pay 1. If you do, search your deck for 2 music characters and add them to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. And once again, this is a climax rare, the wind trigger. Kokoro. Anyways, this Rin is also pretty good just in the fact that now Diva has another game ender that's not Tyrant Factory because this does have Flare Trigger. And it's 11k base, which is pretty nice. And the climax combo is honestly not that bad. A lot of people are probably going to run Gates and 2k1s, but Wind Trigger honestly is pretty good as well. So if you want to run Wind Trigger just because you're running yellow now, then you can run this climax combo because you get to search 2 cards from your deck, add it to your hand. That does compress you by 2, which is, which can really save your ass. So overall, this Rin is pretty good because it adds a game ender. It's a pretty decent climax combo, and yeah, just those 2 reasons alone makes this Rin pretty good. Pretty good. Just pretty hard to pull just because of the double R plus. So yeah, overall, Yellow got a pretty big boost in the form of 3 cards. They actually got a game ender, a pretty decent climax combo, and a healer. So maybe Yellow is worth running now. We'll just have to see. Next up, another double R, 1-0 Miku, 1500 double R. And she's a 500 in front assist and a +1 level assist. And she has another effect, place 2 cards to rest. Look at the top card of your deck, and you can either leave it there or put it to the bottom of your deck. This assist is pretty cool. I actually like assists that give +1 level, just because +1 level can really help. Because if your opponent tries to side, most of the time, most players play 1k 1 souls. If they try to side your level 1s, if you have this, they can't unless they trigger 1 soul, unless they trigger a soul. But you know, they're probably not going to happen. Or you know, in the end, it helps you take less damage. So +1 level helps because it stops level 1 suiciders and makes it hard to side for damage. And yeah, for that reason alone, I really like +1 level assists, and it does give 500 power. And the top 2 check is, I'm kind of iffy about it because a lot of these new cards, like this Mako here, does require you to tap a card. Can't think of other ones, but I'm pretty sure last week we saw a couple cards that does require you to tap one of your back row. But this requires you to tap both of your back row. And there's already another really good level 0 assist in the form of the 39 Miku, the 500 global for Mikus, and then tap, give one of your Mikus 500. So you can't really use her secondary effect if you're running it along with this Miku. And I'm pretty sure, I'm most positive almost all builds just run 4 of these 39 get Mikus. So will this Miku be used? I can see this being used in like decks that don't run 39 get Mikus, just because you know they don't have a lot of Mikus, so they can't use the full effect of this Miku. Maybe if you're running like yellow, maybe yellow, green, blue, or like red, yellow, blue, or my bad, red, green, blue, and you're not too dependent on Mikus. Maybe this assist would be more beneficial. But overall, I like this card. I think it's pretty cool. I don't really think it's double R worthy. Kind of painful. And it is blue, and honestly, blue is not that good of a color. And it sucks that this is level 1 because it forces you to run blue now. But maybe if blue gets better, this assist can be used. But as of right now, just because you have to run blue for this assist makes it pretty painful. Maybe, yeah, I think maybe yellow, red, green will be the new builds. Or maybe just red, green still. Because right now, like, even after this week, this is the only worthy blue. This is like blue still sucks after this week. Yeah, these blue cards still suck anyways. So will this assist be used? Probably not, just because you have to run blue. But if blue gets better, maybe this card can be used. I still like this. I like this card as a card alone. However, just because you have to run blue, and blue in the set sucks, not so good anymore. But anyway, still a cool card. And next up we have this Miku 2-1 double R 5K. She's a level assist in front, which is really good because before Diva couldn't run a level assist in their like green-red builds, just because they had to run yellow for it. They needed yellow to run the level assist, this level assist right here. But now they don't have to go into yellow for the level assist because, you know, now they got a green one. So that in itself makes this card really good. However, it does have another effect. When she's played from hand to stage, you can pay 1, discard a climax from your hand. If you do, choose 1 climax from your rating room and return it to your hand. This is a really interesting effect. Just because Miku is so climax dependent, I really thought they should have got something like this. Maybe like a climax salvager, a climax searcher, a climax switcher, you know, who knows. Something that lets you get climaxes easier. And now they finally have something like that. It's kind of hurts that you have to pay 1. But, you know, if you're going to grab that gold bar, that helps you win the game. If you're going to grab the gate, that helps you win the game. If they get, you know, you can even get the win trigger now, and then, you know, help you compress by 2. So, yeah, honestly, interesting card just because Diva is so climax dependent. This adds up a lot of, maybe this would make it Diva more consistent just because it's easier to grab certain climaxes, to do certain climax combos. So yeah, overall, really cool card just because it's a level assist and, you know, grab a climax. And as we all know, Diva is hella climax dependent. So overall, this card is just pretty cool. I think this card's pretty double R worthy just because of how the set runs. Pretty cool card. And that is the leaks for this week. It's okay. A lot of double R's shown. How many double R's is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 4 double R's and 1 double R plus. This week we'll probably see the Luca double R. Maybe next week we'll see the final Miku double R plus. I mean, come on, we know Miku's gonna get another double R plus because it's Miku. But yeah, overall, pretty interesting leaks for this week. I really like the level 1 Suicider Mako. I think this card's pretty cool. The 1/1's okay. The event is really interesting. These cards are honestly meh. This is actually pretty cool. It adds a lot of options. It adds more variety to the deck just because yellow might be more viable now, and maybe the Len combo that I talked about last week. Hey, maybe people will actually run this now because yellow actually has some decent level 3s now, so maybe people will run these. So yeah, I think it's cool just because it adds more flavor to Diva. This assist not so much just because you have to run blue, unfortunate. And this level assist I think is really cool just because of how the set runs. So overall, some pretty interesting leaks for this week. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any question or comments, please leave them below. As you know, I love reading them. And until next time, guys.